morning, good afternoon, good evening. Welcome to What's Up 353, take 2. And I want to talk to you about bike packing. But first of all, I'll explain why this is take 2 while I quickly wipe my nose. I filmed this ride, this exact ride that I'm about to do, yesterday, only to get home and discover I had a bogey hanging off my nose the entire time. I think I'd done a snot rocket, not effectively wiped it, and as such I was left with that for the entire video. So, bike packing. Oh, sorry, I'm going to keep wiping my nose now just to make sure. The reason I want to talk about it now is that my first bike packing adventure is just a couple of weeks away. You may recall from a recent video I mentioned doing a race called the CX South Downs Way 100 with Paul Pickles Nichols. Sadly, that race has fallen victim to the COVID-19 situation and has been postponed until August the 8th. However, not to be deterred, Paul has created what is now known as the Pickles 50. So we will be doing a 50-kilometre ride across South Downs Way on July the 4th still. So, I have decided on Friday the 3rd of July to cycle from my home to a campsite near our start point on the South Downs Way, stay in a tent overnight, do the South Downs Pickles 50 on the Saturday, stay in the tent again on Saturday night, and then cycle back home early Sunday morning. It's a total round trip of about 150-160 kilometres, so nothing crazy, but certainly a test for me with what would likely be very little sleep. Yo! In preparation for this, I have started collecting a few what I consider to be bike packing essentials, 2 of which I'm testing out on this ride. Right, the first item on test, you can probably tell what it is by this blue hose that's dangling from my shoulder. I've got myself a camelback, or not a camelback, but you know, a generic bag with a bladder. Camelback's a brand, right? Anyway, I'm going to refer to it as a camelback for purposes of this video. It's 2 litre capacity. I've not used one before. Oh, back through the tunnel. Yo! It's the rules. And so far I'm quite enjoying having a mixture of ice cubes and water on my back to cool it down. I've had problems previously not carrying enough water with me on longer rides and coming a cropper not being able to find any water stops, so I figured this was a good way to minimise the chances of that happening again. To be honest, I've actually barely even remembered I've got it on my back. It's pretty comfortable. The only times I remember is when I get a drip on my thigh out of the end of the hose. So I don't know whether I've not shut it off properly or if there's a very small leak, but it's actually quite refreshing from time to time. And the other thing I'm testing is that ostentatious slab of gold attached to my pedal. The absolute black 34 oval chainring. It was a purchase made for exactly this kind of climb that I'm on now. Slippy, steep and rough, and typical of what I'm expecting along the South Downs Way. So hopefully it will get me out of any trouble I find myself in. I can just whack it in the lightest gear and spin to my heart's content. And the climb I'm about to hit, I chose specifically for this test. Here we go. It's not the steepest, it's not the longest, but I always struggle on it because of these steps. They slow your progress and prevent you from having any kind of rhythm, and as such a really light spinning gear should hopefully just make it a little bit easier to get back up to speed every time the momentum's taken away. So my easiest gear ratio now is going to be 34-42, which is not going to be fast. Let's hope it's effective. Thanks very much. Oh, I'm nearly there, surely.
No, you're only about quarter.
Oh, don't say that. I've stopped at a place I stop at nearly every time I do this ride. It's this lovely lookout point. But I'll let you have a proper look at the absolute black, gold, oval, 34 tooth gravel chainring. So obviously not quite as tidy as when I set off. And the gold was, let's just say, a little golder than I was expecting. I was kind of going for something along the lines of the chain, which, believe it or not, is gold underneath all of that. But this is far blingier than I'd imagined. And I wasn't absolutely sure when I first fitted it, but I now am properly in love with it, especially how well it goes with my gold and titanium Crank Brothers egg beaters, courtesy of Mr. Peter Wilson. Obviously it's not all about looks. Looks account for about 99.9% of my purchasing decisions. It's 40 grams lighter than the one I took off, so there's a little advantage from that. It's in the easiest ring. Obviously it's fantastic. On the slippy stuff it means I can sit, put my weight over the back and just spin my way out of trouble, and so far so good. My other chainring prior to this was an absolute black 40 tooth oval, so the oval nature, ovality of it is not new to me. Obviously just losing a few teeth was the idea. So the bag, it is a super cheapie from Amazon. I can't remember exactly how much, but I will put details in a future video. 2 litre capacity, like I say. It has a, oh, hard to do with one hand, has a bladder inside hooked on with this. The hose runs through the strap and out there with a kind of locking mechanism at the end of the hose. There is an additional pocket at the front where I've currently got my phone, and you can keep other small essentials in there. Webbing here obviously for other items that you want to strap onto the back. I might find I want a bigger bag to carry more stuff, but for this 2-nighter that I'm planning, my frame bags should be enough to accommodate everything I'm hoping to take. Speaking of the frame bags, they are part of the experiment that I'm doing, which is to see how cheaply I can get a pretty comprehensive bike packing setup for. I'm trying to get it as close to £150 as I possibly can, and it's looking like I'm on track to do that. I've got everything so far, apart from the tent has yet to arrive. Once that does, look out for a future video where I will show you everything I've bought. I'll give you links and prices and all the rest of it, and then obviously the following video hopefully will be the backpacking itself, sorry, the bike packing itself, where I will test the effectiveness of everything I bought, let you know where I feel money would be better spent, anything that I bought that I didn't need at all, and just the overall success of the kit that I put together. Now obviously I'm not going to be bike packing in Alaska or some kind of tropical rainforest. See, I'm only ever likely to be a fair weather bike packer, if I'm honest, and as such my stuff is equipped to deal with the conditions I'm expecting in July in the UK. I'm going to do something that I did the other day and I was so proud of it, but my kids refused to film it, so I have no evidence. I'm going to do the swing of doom. Now I don't know how well that's coming across, but I've mentioned this before. That is a serious drop, and that is a little rope swing that you can only get to by walking or climbing or crawling, as I'm going to show you, shuffling along that branch and getting on it, swinging out. I'm going to keep my helmet on, you know, because I'm old. know how I'm going to stop. Did it. I'm sure that looked absolutely pathetic on video, but it's freaking scary. I'm the only one obviously that can see straight down below myself while I'm swinging off it. So although the rope's too short to really get a good swing out, that was pretty frightening. God, I'm rock and roll. Only bugger is it's very steep to climb out of here once you've gone down it. This is tempting too. I did half of it in the opposite direction yesterday and stopped on that hump in the middle, basically because I put myself. It's very tempting, but I think I might have pushed my luck for one day. Yeah, maybe next time. Whoa, this is, ooh, this might be pushing my luck a bit as well. Wow. Right, through that. Oh, is this the right way? I think so. Ooh. Oh great, a tree to hop. Let's test my bunny hopping skills. Alright, that wasn't a bunny hop, that was a, well, let's just call it a pussy hop. I'm really going back and forth on the mountain bike thing at the moment because I am enjoying these rides on this bike so much, but then I come across something on every single ride like this, oh, that makes me wish I had a mountain bike with full suspension. Not for comfort, or certainly not for speed, but for fun. And I'm sure it'll give me confidence to attack some of these things a lot harder than I am. Oh, on this. Whether that'd just be the tyres, suspension, or the more upright riding position. I just get the impression that this really bumpy downhill stuff is not really what this bike's for. Oh, skinny gap. Although that's handy. I never would have got through that with ridiculously wide mountain bike bars. Anyway, back to what I'm supposed to be talking about. The oval chainring. As I mentioned, I've been riding an oval for a while, and I'm not an elite enough athlete to really conclusively detail the benefits. Right, I'm never going to get up this. It's going to be far too slippy. Yep, oh, I'm going to come off. Oh. Yeah, back wheel's got no traction. Yeah. But what I can tell you, and I tried to explain this in a previous video, the times I definitely do notice the oval is on short, very steep, out of the saddle climbs, where, if this makes any sense, it works almost like a lever with every pedal stroke, and that extra leverage feels like it's propelling me forward easier than with a standard round ring. But the main benefit for me is the smoothness and the quietness, and this one is no different to my, oh you mother, oh what the, oh something just bit me on my wrist. Oh, hang on, excuse me 1 second. Oh, sorry about that. That was a really sharp pain on my wrist. Don't know if it was a horsefly or something like that. Yow! Sorry to go all Bear Grylls on you and try and suck and spit out the, whoop. Oh god, I can't even get going now. It's too slippy. Yeah, spit out the venom. Oh, I don't know what it was. Might have been a snake that had somehow invisibly leapt up to the height of my arms, bit me and slithered away. Oh, but it's hurting like a mother. Yeah. Okay, note to self, add to backpacking kit. antiseptic insect bite cream stuff. Alright, I think I need to go this way. I'm not going to be able to hop this one. Oh. See, again, full suspension mountain bike, I might have had a crack at that log. Probably not. Now I'm hoping when I arrive at this little opening here, the sky is clear, because when it is, there is the most spectacular view of London. Let me have a look. Can I see? Yeah, right. I'll try and zoom in, but what you should be able to see over the top of those fields in the very, very distance is the city. The Shard is there, Canary Wharf I believe, or is that the NatWest Tower building? It's a bit cloudy and a bit misty, but on a really clear day that's the most phenomenal view of the city from such a long way away. And thankfully I am this far away from the city. I am not a fan of riding, well, on roads at all, but let alone in London. Nah, not for me. Another win for the Skinny Bar Brigade. Oh, or is it? Oh, that's tight. But we're through. Oh, I think I'm going to need some new back brake pads as well. So, in summary, my backpack seems okay. It's a bag, it has water in it, I can drink it. Drips on my leg from time to time, but I can live with that. The Absolute Black 34 tooth oval gold chainring, love it so far. I've not found a climb I couldn't climb yet with it. Have to wait and see what the South Downs Way has in store for me. But until then, thank you all so much for watching. Please, if you've got a second, please subscribe, like, comment, and hit that little bell icon to get notifications. Not only will you obviously instantly know when I upload a new video, but apparently it helps the growth of the channel as well. Something to do with algorithms. So I'll be very grateful if you do that. And until the next time, take it easy, and I hope to see you all very soon.